Guys, welcome back into the channel. Today I want to talk about an actual gameplay tip. I know it's been a while on the channel from me giving you any gameplay tips. I know I've been giving you a lot of franchise tips and building team tips and stuff like that, and hidden gems and whatnot, so I figured it was good to throw in a gameplay tip for you guys. A lot of you might know some of this stuff, but I want to go over it because it's good to have in one place, especially for beginner players. And even players that have gotten advanced enough to the point that you're throwing the ball downfield all the time. I want you guys to not forget to utilize your running back in the passing game. Now, what a lot of people think I mean, or what a lot of people will think you mean whenever you're trying to utilize your running back in the passing game, are things like screenplays. So, generally speaking, people are going to say, you want to use the running back in the pass game, so you're going to look for like halfback slip screens and stuff like that. And while it's good to mix these in occasionally, that's not necessarily the best way to get your running back involved, because these don't work very well most of the time in Madden 20, from what I've noticed. I mean, you can get them to work, especially if you have a good offensive line or you have a good receiving back, but a lot of the time, your halfback's going to do that. He's going to get caught on the offensive line. So it's just simply not a reliable play to get your player involved with a screenplay like that. And a lot of times the defensive players are actually going to read that. So what can you do to affect the running back being viable in the pass game? Now, the first thing that you're going to want to think about is that a lot of times the halfback is in blocking for you. And so it makes it easier for the defense to cover everybody because they know that it's just the receivers and the tight ends going out for passes. But if I send out the halfback in the opposite direction of my receivers, it means that something's going to open up. They're going to have to try and cover each different location, and it's going to be difficult for them to be able to do that. So triangle broke open to the right. I just wasn't able to block the defenders there in that case. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to hot route the running back out onto a route and see if he can get open just going out to the left, and see how he gets open running the opposite way of the receivers. That's one way to utilize the running back, and that's probably the most basic way that people are going to utilize the running back. But the thing that I really want to emphasize today is a couple plays that will get you a ton of yardage with the running backs that are probably more effective than screen plays. And those are deep passing plays, vertical type passing plays. So say I come out in a formation like the tray open. There's three guys on the right side, one guy on the left side. And what ends up happening is the running back is going to come out on this route late. What's going to happen time on these plays is those receivers and your tight ends and stuff, they're going to run off the defenders. And this is something that people don't utilize a lot. On plays like this, people are going to be looking for their tight ends and their receivers. But what I want you to do is watch what happens with the halfback. Wide open for like 10 or 15 yards. Pretty much any time you run this play, I guarantee it that this is going to be open a majority of the time. And what that's going to do for you is that's going to draw defenders up that are going to have to cover that running back. And when they start to come up and cover that running back, that means that stuff is going to be open over the top. So I really want you guys to pay attention to that the running back can get open on plays like this coming underneath of the deep routes. Some of the better formations and better plays in the game, if you put the running back on an underneath route like this, they're going to get open. And so they're going to start bringing players up to defend that, which will leave players like Reid open over the middle like that, as you guys can see. And then he's able to get up there for a huge gain and possibly even get you a touchdown. So that's the first one. The second one is doing the same type of thing out of heavier formations. And people don't realize that you can really pass to the halfback very well out of heavier formations. But one last thing before we move on to that, I just want to point out the fact that most of the time, and pretty much every running back on every team is going to be faster than the linebacker that's covering them. They're going to have better route running stats than the coverage abilities of the linebacker. There are some linebackers that will be able to cover your halfback, so you're going to have to avoid that. But for the most part, this running back, just running this simple out route like this, is going to get ahead of that linebacker 9 out of 10 times. So I just want to run it a couple more times and show you how exactly that works. So the running back goes, he's just going to be able to get past everybody, probably make a move, make somebody miss like that, And this is just Darius Geis. He's an 80 overall. He's a very good player in Madden, but he's not you know, amazing by any stretch of the imagination. And so when they start to bring guys up to defend the running back, like I said, guys like Jordan Reid are going to get open over the top. And so your running back can be a primary receiver in your passing game. Don't be afraid to throw the ball to your running back coming out of the backfield, because you can get 10, 15 yards of play just by giving it to your running back. Now, obviously, they're going to start to stop that, especially if it's a user. They'll just start to user cover it, which is fine, but it doesn't hurt to have this option in your playbook. Now, let's go ahead and move on to the other plays that I was talking about out of heavier formations. So if you like to run some of those formations where you have multiple tight ends on the field, that's going to be kind of where this comes into play. So I'll show you like one or two plays where this actually comes into play. So like, let's say we come out in the single back wing pair and we run some of these like tight end attacks or PA tight end seams. These formations are really good to pass to the running back out of, because most of the time what's going to happen is you're going to end up with a tight end breaking open deep. And so once you start to throw that, they're going to start to back off into coverage out of these heavier formations, which is going to, one, allow you to run the football, and then two, it's going to allow you to throw it to the halfback. Now, I just totally missed the pass there, but you guys can see that these guys got open. I'm going to try and run it a couple more times and show you guys a great example of that. Aside from my offensive line not being able to block right now, I just want to illustrate that you can get nice passes downfield, 10, 15 yards downfield, without ever having to pass to your receivers. So, you know, nice simple routes like that can be really helpful for you in the passing game like that. And so say I do something like this where I modify the base play and I put my halfback out on a out route. That's going to give me a nice option to pick up another 5 to 10 yards. And it's never going to hurt you to pick up 5 to 10 yards on a play. 5 to 10 yards puts you in range of an easy second down or an easy third down or something like that. And so that's a really good option for whenever you just need a couple yards and you want to put yourself in a better position for second or third down, is to do a nice little halfback pass, clear people out with receivers, you know, send them on deep routes like the tight end attack or something like this, and then pass it to the halfback underneath for a nice, sure, easy gain, and you have a nice little, probably first down most of the time out of something like that. So that's pretty much all there is for this in the video today. You can think of any different combination that you want to incorporate the halfback. It doesn't have to be that exactly. You can send them in multiple different directions. You can send them on wheel routes. Any of this stuff can be effective if you do it properly. So see, you can get a nice little move if you time it right, got a touchdown on that play. You just try to utilize your halfback more out of the passing game, because I noticed that a lot of people fail to do that. And honestly, they're one of the most effective matchups. And I've talked in many of my videos saying, you know, on offense, what you want to be looking for is the open spot on the field, and you want to be looking for mismatches. Well, your halfback running a route against a linebacker is generally speaking going to be a mismatch. And you know that you're going to have a mismatch with these halfbacks on the field in these heavier sets, especially because you're running a heavy set. So the sub-package linebacker probably is not going to be on the field in situations like this. Generally speaking, it's going to be the two more run-heavy linebackers, and so it's going to be easier for your guy to get off and run a route. So occasionally a guy will actually cover, as you saw there, Troy Apke did. But for the most part, you're going to be able to get your running back open for nice little gains for you. So hopefully this helps out in some ways. I know I only showed you guys a couple plays, but it's the general concept of it that I just wanted to remind people not to forget their halfback in the running game. Even some things that I like to do, like oftentimes I'll even set the halfback just to go on a streak, and they'll get a mismatch with the linebacker going up the seam, like right there. I had him open, the ball just got batted. So let me show you guys another example of that. I'm going to change plays and just show you an example of sending the halfback up the seam, in the fact that they will end up getting a mismatch, or somebody else will have run them off first, and so your running back will get a ton of open room. So let's say we go with something like that. You know, base play would be the double slants. We'll go with a random defense. What you can do is you can then send the halfback on a route up the seam like this and get him open down the seam. Now, that's not going to work 100% of the time, but it's real hard for linebackers to cover the running back coming out of the backfield. That's just kind of what I want to reiterate on this video, is that it's going to make things difficult. It's not going to work 100% of the time, but you can really start to get defenses off balance by utilizing your running back in kind of uncommon ways. They're not going to be able to cover every single player. So, like I said, hopefully that helps you out in some way. If it does help you, if you are going to start using your running back more in the passing formations because you've seen that it can be, more useful in running stuff like this, definitely go ahead and leave a like on the video. Comment down below what else I could help you guys out with. Comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm going to run a couple more plays here, and yeah, we'll just kind of end it there. So it's real easy to get nice, like 10, 5, 10, 15-yard gains out of the backfield with that running back. So, like I said, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'll end off on this play, and I hope you guys have a great night.